Hi, it's Heidi with Homeschool How To again, and today we're going to talk about field trips. I don't know about you, but when I was in school, that was my favorite thing. Actually, I don't really remember a whole lot else about school except the field trips. So I think that homeschoolers are really at a good advantage of being able to take field trips, and it's something fun. It helps kids to remember what they've learned. You can either use it as a launching pad of, hey, we're going to be studying the presidents, let's go to a president's house, and then the kids will be interested in that. Or you could be studying a president and then leave that as the field trip at the end of their study, and then they can actually see what's going on. For me, it kind of worked out better to launch a study. So I would go to see the president's house, and then their kids are much more interested in learning about that guy because they saw where he lived and got some information from him and stuff like that. So some ideas about field trips. There's lots of ideas at my website. Feel free to leave comments at the bottom of this video if you have any ideas, or if maybe you need some more ideas from me of what kind of field trips to take, or just whatever you want to tell me. At my website, homeschool-how-to.com, is where the whole list is. Some of the things, it doesn't have to be expensive. Like, don't feel like, oh, I have to allot $1,000 for the year to be able to go on these big, huge field trips. No, it does not have to be at all, especially if you have little ones, you know, kindergarten, preschool type things. Take them to the post office. Ask the postmaster if they can take you in the back and look around, or go to the bakery, and just stuff that's really close. Or you'll be surprised. One day you might be looking out your window and, oh, they've got a big digger out there that's digging something up in the yard at the neighbors. Hey, let's look at this, and you'll go out there and look, and you'd be surprised at how many neat little things come up that you couldn't have even orchestrated yourself. And so keep it simple. Just think about simple things that you're already doing, things that are in your neighborhood, things that are on your way to someplace. Maybe there's a candy factory around you, maybe there's a vineyard, maybe there's some kind of a orchard or something like that. You know, those are really, kids think those are really impressive and really neat. It doesn't have to be 3 states away and some big, long, involved field trip. So remember that. And then I also have a huge list of virtual field trips that you can do from your computer. And those are, you might not be able to go 3 states away, but you happen to be studying that person. Hey, let's take at least a virtual field trip of that person's house, or, whatever. And then that way you're at least getting something, and you might not be able to actually go there, but it is still fun to watch it on the computer, which is better than maybe looking at it in a book. It kind of comes alive a little bit. And then I wanted to talk a little about a checklist of the kind of things that you want to take with you when you go on a field trip. It doesn't have to be a huge thing, so don't feel like I'm going to give you a big, huge list of things that you're going to need to bring. The first thing, make sure that you bring water, because a field trip is really no fun when everyone is thirsty and they don't want to pay attention to anything going on, because I am so thirsty I could just die. So make sure you have water. You don't have to bring like a 5-gallon thing of water or anything, just enough water for everyone to have a couple hours worth of liquid. And I like water because if it spills, it's not a big huge mess. It just kind of dries. If you've got a lot of juicy type stuff, if it spills and everybody's sticky and it's all a big mess. And plus, it will keep your kids' sugar levels more even keel, and they're not going to be very hyper when they go out if they've had a bunch of sugary drinks. So water. So the second thing you want to take is a camera. I can't tell you how many field trips I've gone on and I get there and I think, oh, I didn't bring my camera. It's okay if you don't, no big deal, but it is fun to take pictures of your kids in the activity and then bring them home. You might want to scrapbook them, you don't have to, but it does help you maybe at the end of the year if you're doing an assessment to be able to just have a page and stick a few pictures on there. These are a couple of the field trips we took. Or it's fun if your spouse cannot go on a field trip and because they're working during the day, then you can come home and go, oh, look what we did today, and the kids can explain what they did, and helps them to learn because they're reliving and explaining what they've learned, and it helps your spouse then to be able to enjoy a little bit of what you guys got to do that day. Another thing you want to take, make sure that you have good walking shoes for everyone. Even if it's not that long of a field trip, it is just good to make sure, okay, everybody's got good shoes, that they're not going to be going, my feet hurt, oh, I don't want to go any farther, or you having to carry this child and, miserable because their feet hurt, and then your feet end up hurting because you had to carry this kid. So make sure everyone has good walking shoes on. And then when you're also on the field trip, or when you're packing, getting ready, it's good to bring, lunch if you are going to be gone over lunch, because then you don't have to end up spending a lot more money by having to spend more than just the field trip cost of having to spend money to go out to eat. But make sure that you don't bring too much. Like, you don't want to have, well, I have 15 snacks and I have all this stuff and you have so much stuff that it's not going to be fun for you because you're dragging it along. Try to keep it simple. Just, you know, if you have if snacks are good, maybe like fruit and trail mix are really good snacks to take along. It's something quick that you can get. It's not very messy. The fruit, if you don't end up eating it, it's not like it went bad. You know, if you're just eating it, you know, peeling a banana or something. Fruit is actually God's fast food because it's already prepared for you, but if you don't eat it or if you don't bite into it, then it's still going to be available for you later on. So it is a good thing to have some fruit and some trail mix if you feel like your family's going to get hungry, because it is miserable to be on a field trip and everyone's hungry and, you know, you're trying to get through the field trip. So, but don't try to bring too much, just keep it simple. When you're on the field trip, try to not be the old teacher lady, like, oh, okay, children, look over here, and this is what we're going to learn today and all that. That is so boring. Enjoy things with your kids. Go, wow, look at that. I didn't know that. Why didn't I ever know this? Or look at how they did that. I wonder why they decided to create that, or how did they do that, or how did they know to think of that? And just be really in a sense of wonder with your children. You know, you can be a kid again in this situation. And it will really help your relationship with your kids if you're both enjoying this new adventure with them and just having fun and that kind of thing. It can really be good for you. And then I also have a form on my website. It's just a little one-page thing where the kids can fill out, just pretty much any ages, I think. Just kind of what they liked, what they didn't like, would they go there again, just that kind of, just a few little questions. That's something that then you can either put maybe into a notebook that you have, or maybe if you just want to use it to see if they learned anything. Maybe they can share with a grandparent then or whatever. But there's a free form there that you can use, and feel free to use that. And that's at homeschool-how-to.com. And I think Homeschool Field Trips is the page that that's on, but I have a link at the bottom of this video. So feel free to leave me comments, and also subscribe to the website, because there is information there that I don't share anywhere else, because I have a nice little email list and you can get free books and things like that. So I hope that you've gotten a lot out of this. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.